Hello and welcome to your math course at Aiken Technical College. This is a video with a general overview of how you navigate through my courses in Blackboard and XYZ homework. Your course may not be similar to this, but you can find the information in the same locations. The first thing you should see when you log in is an announcement. And in this announcement, you can find information about your instructor. You can also find the course ID. Next, I'm going to go into the content area, and we can find the information from the course in this content area. So I'm going to click on this first drop down where it says start here. And in this section, you can find information about your course. You can find the syllabus, the addendum, and also some helpful links. So the first link we see is that welcome message. Once again, that's in the announcements section. I'm going to go to next. On the next tab, we have the instructor contact information, and I am the instructor, Mr. Cummings. There's course learning outcomes. There's also some policies and procedures. There's an email etiquette policy. There's also a QEP, a quality enhancement program, and our quality enhancement program is to read, write, and achieve. And in this math course, you will read, write, and achieve. There's a standard attendance policy, which means that you must attend at least 80% of the courses. If you're taking an online course, you want to make sure that you log in at least every other week to avoid withdrawal. There's a students with disabilities policy, a student support services policy, an academic dishonesty policy, and an academic integrity pledge. Place for you to sign and date, but you don't physically sign and date and hand it in to me. By you being registered in the course, you acknowledge all the policies, procedures, and pledges in this document. So please take a minute to read your syllabus. Going back, next we have the instructor addendum, and the addendum gives the expectations of you as a student in the course. It also gives you the method in which to calculate your final average. Okay, so once again, this is my information, the required materials, and if you're taking one of my online courses, the homework is 25% and it's open all semester long. Quizzes are 25% open all semester long. The tests are also open all semester long, with this caveat: if the test is taken after the due date, it will incur a 10% penalty. And the tests as a whole are weighted at 20%. There's a 5% discussion board, and I'll talk more about how you make discussion board posts. And lastly, the final exam is 25%. There are no final exam exemptions. The department policy is that everyone must take the final exam. And lastly, there is a 10-point grading scale. So I'm going to go back and simply click the next tab. And the next tab is the Vital Source Content Materials tab. And in this tab, you should locate your course and you should also copy your access code. Okay, so now we went through all of the documents that are in the start here. So I'm going to close that drop down. There's a course materials section, and in this section you can find things such as class materials, notes, formula sheets. So if I click on this drop down, notice for this particular course there are only a set of lecture notes, but there may be other documents within the course materials of your course. Next, we have the XYZ homework link, and there's an honor lock link. In XYZ homework, you can find the homework and quizzes. In honor lock, you must take all your tests. Even though you're going to see a link for the test in XYZ homework, those tests are actually to be taken in honor lock. Okay, and I'll show you in just a second. So I'm going to click on the XYZ homework link, and we're now at XYZ homework. If you're not new to XYZ homework, here you can simply hit classroom and log in. But if you're brand new to XYZ homework, you want to register as a student. Make sure that the email you use is one that you check quite often. You also want to use that course ID number that was found on that welcome screen. But if you need help registering, you can stop by my office during my office hours, or you can visit the Academic Success Center, which is located in our library building. If you're not new to Course Compass, if you already have an account, you can simply hit Classroom, you can add a new course, and you can simply put in my course ID. All right, so once you've actually registered for the course, I'm just going to choose this course, and this is what your course should look like. I would notice that on the left-hand side, we have some links. This first link is to send a message to myself or a classmate. There is a forums link, but this is not where you post any discussions or anything. This link is not utilized in this course. There is a calendar view, and there's also a calendar view when you first log in. There's a course map. There is a grade book and a spot to log out. It starts at a default of 4 weeks, but if you want to, you can lay out all 16 weeks of our course. I'm going to go back to 4 weeks. You'll notice that when you click on a particular assignment, it doesn't appear that anything actually happens. But if you scroll down below the calendar, you can see the links for that particular assignment or that particular day. The Honor Lock practice quiz, even though there is a link here, there is a password. I don't give out any passwords. You're not required to enter passwords. So therefore, the Honor Lock practice quiz and our regular tests are to be taken through Honor Lock. So if you wanted to take a test in Honor Lock, you'll simply click here. You'll click the Honor Lock LTI. And here is where you can find your test. So even though there is a link in XYZ homework, you actually take them in Honor Lock. All right, so going back to XYZ homework, notice here's the layout. There are some lecture videos, and then there are some homeworks to follow, and everything is laid out in the course. The assignments can still be accessed after the due date by the use of late passes. If you choose to use the drop-down menu, right, the course is laid out through the drop-downs as well. So I'm going to click here at Module 0. So just notice the same documents that are in the calendar view, they're the same documents that are in the drop down. And in a nutshell, that explains how you access the materials for the course. If you have any other questions or you want some more information, just please feel free to give me a call or stop by. Thanks for watching.